All right, I'm going to start the spring cleanup early this year because we have spring days and we have winter days. First, I'm going to start with the unboxing of the Fortress Power NV-Duo 21. It's the latest large hybrid inverter from Fortress Power. This is not sponsored. I did buy this one, and I'm going to install it in the solar barn here. But first, let's unbox and see what's in here and look at some of the metrics of this inverter and why I chose this particular one. Let's get started by first cutting open the box. I'm not going to film the whole cutting open. Also, this thing is a little bit heavier. I think it's 127 pounds. And so I will be using our friend, the tractor, to manipulate this thing. All right, let's get it open. Well, I did say I wasn't going to film the entire cutting, but here we are. That's what happens. Okay, oops, leave that there, it's going to fall off. All right, I see, great. Here is a hole cutting template from the bottom of the inverter, and it even includes the side knockout for the side of the inverter, the wall hanging template, so from the bottom of the inverter to where the bracket goes. Let the wind carry that away like it usually does. And then the foam. Okay, which way's up? Okay, there. Oh, packing. All right, here we go. Cut some of that video. Yeah, wind, thank you. Okay, here we are. A little bit of wind today. This thing is a beast. I do know that there's a cable. I can see a cable there, and then underneath the this section is the mounting bracket and some other things. All right, let me pull this thing out, get it to where we can open it up. Stand by. All right, I got the inverter out of the box, and here are the accessories. These are located underneath the inverter, underneath the styrofoam lid, so don't lose track. We got the user manual, which is nice. This warning sheet says that you have a terminating connector. It just has an internal terminating resistor for CAN, and there is the device there. So you plug your communication cable in to the battery, and then you can plug this terminating cable in, and then the parallel COM cable for multiple inverters, Wi-Fi dongle, CTs for measuring current flow on the grid side or for self-consumption, bolts to bolt it on, and of course the mounting bracket. And then the mounting bracket also has these ears that keep the tail of the inverter from coming off the wall. Retaining bracket, that's what I'll call it. All right, let's switch around, switch flip. Let's move around to the inverter. All right, we have 3 locks. Watch your fingernails on this thing. Okay, open. Freshly sealed. Okay, let me get a plus driver, remove a couple dead front screws, then we'll be in here. All right, dead front screws are removed. Remove dead fronts. Let me lay that there. Here's our layout. We got our grid terminals. This accepts up to 2 aught, I believe. Load terminal, generator terminal, and then parallel battery terminals. Neutral bus bar, earth ground, and little baby earth ground. And then what I like about this, it now has 2 DC inputs for 2 identical solar arrays. It has 2 of those, and then a little baby one, a regular one. And I'll review those specs in just a second about the maximum current coming in for each one of these. And then rapid shutdown loop, parallel cable comms, CTs, battery communication. This has the AP Smart rapid shutdown transmitter right there. And then, of course, battery breaker and load breaker. It does not have a grid breaker. That's provided by yourself. And then it has plenty of excess knockouts. This bottom plate actually removes completely if you're going to put it on a Fortress battery that has the equivalent hole in the battery. Or you can mount this on a gutter of your own choosing. You could mark the corners and cut the rectangle out yourself and have a gutter under here that has the same opening. I might be doing that in this case because I'm putting this somewhere where I'm replacing a legacy inverter. So let's review some specs on the inputs and the ins and outs. If I include some room for that dongle bracket space, it's right at 23.5 inches wide. I think the official number does not include that 22.25. The height of the inverter is a smidge over 35 inches. If I include the bump out for the mounting bracket in the back, we're at about 11.5 inches deep. The label on the box confirms most of my measurements. Net of 22.3 inches, height of 35.2 inches, depth of 11.2 inches, and the weight 125.7 pounds. So, I'm going to try to use all the machines I can to move this one into place. Let's go around and look at the features inside the NV Duo 21 inverter. First up is solar input. There are 3 maximum power point tracking channels. 1 and 2 have 2 parallel terminals each, and channel 3 has a single terminal pair. The voltage input is open circuit is 100 to 500 volts DC. For maximum power point tracking voltage, 120 to 440 volts. Channel 1 has a maximum power point current of 26 amps, which is 31 amps maximum. Likewise, same for channel 2. And then channel 3 is a baby channel, 15 amps. So basically a single string of panels. Next up, the comms and control board allows you to have inverter communication to battery, the CT current transducers on your line for self-consumption, and then parallel connections if you have more than one inverter. Next up, the battery breaker. This is built into the inverter and allows connection of the battery system. You can see you have 2 positive battery connection terminals and 2 negative battery terminal connections. The battery terminals can handle about 4/0 copper. It's actually metric and 4/0 is an American number, but you get the drift. You can have plenty of battery cables leaving here. Next up, load AC output breaker. This system has that built in as well. And then the AC pass-through is 200 amps, so you can use 2/0 aluminum cable here, 2/0 copper or aluminum, I should say, to fit in there for handling the load. The continuous AC output in off-grid mode is 16 kilowatts with the sun shining and 12 kilowatts with only batteries. And that's nice. That's equivalent to a 50 amp breaker. So plan accordingly if you're trying to design a system for off-grid use. And lastly, there's some built-in knockouts in the inverter. The whole bottom tray can be unbolted so the inverter can actually sit on top of an e-boost battery. The e-boost battery also has a lid that can be removed, so you have a chasm between the two. And that is very nice. Let's go on. We got a lot cleaned up, and we got some fan noise in here, which is fine. The Outback solar arrays are creating a net of 10 kW, and the load in the house is 2.4 kW, 2.2 actually, 2.2 kW. So, thinking about where to put the NV Duo 21. This is kind of tight in here. I certainly don't want to get rid of the Outback. I kind of don't want to get rid of the XW because it still works, but you know, any day now it may not work. And then the FX I haven't used in years. I did wire it up. The concept with there was to use it as a chargeverter style device with a Honda 3000 generator. But I also have a Kubota diesel generator, which pairs nicely with the Outback. So I think what I'll do is take down the FX and in its place put the NV Duo. I do have a pipe for, this is DC wire, but I will convert that 1.25" conduit for use for the AC input and output, getting me over to this lovely XW PDP power distribution panel, because it has all the DC and AC breakers you could possibly enjoy. It is full, okay? It is very full in here. It's not completely full because there's still a little bit of room. For instance, I can add another 250 amp DC breaker here, and I have 2 more spots for these nominally 60 amp feed through breakers. So I think with the, okay, everybody's gonna talk. I think with the Duo 21, I'll need 100 amp breakers here. So they are available. I will get 2 of them, one for the input and one for the output. Now I don't have the other bypass cover on right now. Some of these breakers should not be turned on at the same time. There's a metal clip. I have more of these metal clips actually, and I will use them to decide which inverter is driving the house. It would be overly complicated to have it do 3 inverters plus the grid. So I probably will move this to a different breaker position, offline, I guess you would say. Anything that can be made online can also be made offline. And then if it's offline, it can be made online. You wouldn't do that every other day, but you can do it. I mean, wiring wise. So I think all of my measurements come out where the Duo can fit there. And I take down the Outback FX. And that's what we're shooting for. All right, stand by.